Hello everyone, and welcome to another devlog for Project Hestia, a base building automation strategy game that I'm working on in my spare time. This week I updated the models, the conveyors, added a day-night cycle that I'll be showing off, and also at the end of the video I'll be talking a little bit about the gameplay inspiration and ideas that I had going forward. So please stay tuned. The first thing that I worked on was to make the attachment system work when placing buildings. So if I have existing conveyors like so, and just one more there, and then I get a splitter and place it in the middle, it'll all get wired up automatically. And that also works for item storages. I place them like that. And that's a lot easier to use now. So you can also connect them up as the existing by wiring them up. So this was what was happening previously, is that you could just attach them like that as well. The next thing that I worked on was to actually improve the look of the conveyors. So now the conveyors have like little metal bars along the bottom, I guess, and chevrons on the top. So this was actually an update to the shader that I created. So if I go into the conveyor shader, I've now got a textured conveyor shader. So if we just open that up and bring that up like that. So now this takes in a bunch of different textures. I've got one for the base, so the rails and the bit at the bottom, and then I've got a moving one for the chevrons on the top. That's a mask that then gets applied, and that means I can change the colors as well. So if I place a conveyor like that, so we've got these textures, and I can change the color of the rails by using this. So the player can customize their base a bit, make it all pink and orange and whatever colors they happen to like. And then also I can change the belt color, so we can have like basic belts, speedy belts. Oh my god, it's going so fast I can't see my items belts. So you get a lot of customization from that. And then I can also change the style of the chevrons or what the rails look like. So that gives me a lot of flexibility in the conveyor belt look and feel. This week I also spent a bit of time modeling in Blender. So I created a little model for the splitter and merger. So they're both using the same one at the moment, but I've got plans to make them a bit more visually distinctive. I've got a rather terrible model for the storage container as well, just fairly basic, and a little one for the assembler. These were just made from memory, so I haven't used any references for these. My plan is to go back and spend maybe a day or two properly working on one of the models and making them a bit better and based on some things that I found on the internet. So like other factory designs, etc. But for now they're kind of placeholders, just so that I've got something instead of just a plain or boring box, and so you can actually tell what the buildings are from looking at them. I do kind of like this side bit that's coming off the assembler, so I might keep that in some form or other. But the idea is for each building to have a different silhouette, so you can look across the entire map and see at a glance what everything is. And yeah, to kind of iterate on these and make them better over time. So these are very, very far from what the final models are. I'm planning on giving it a bit of time every couple of months to work on the models, so they should improve over time. They are also using flat shading. So when I'm creating the models, if I go into here, I can select them, and then each part, so this part here for example, if I go onto the left hand side, I can set what color it is by using my my color palette over here. So I can have pink windows or blue windows or colored windows. So I've got a lot of control, and every single item in the entire game is using the same color palette. So that means it kind of all works together. And another thing that I got this time is that I have now a FBX bundling exporter, which means I can just select the objects that I want to export, hit the export button, and then they'll go straight into Unity. So they come into my meshes folder. So if I select that, so they'll be put in these main bundle. So they just come in straight in. So I think I can even, if I double click on that, so you can see the little, so I can go in and see which ones are there, which is, yeah, I really like this Windows feature that you can just look at 3D models now and see what they look like in different lights, etc. The last feature that I want to show off this week is the day-night cycle. So I've got the day duration set to 20 seconds and the night duration set to 5 seconds. So it'll just cycle in the background there. And there's a system that updates this lighting manager to set the time of day or the time of night. So as it gets to the end there, it'll start the night time. And then what I've got in here is I've got a number of different gradients, color gradients. So one color gradient for the ambient light and one color gradient for the directional light. I've also got the fog light, but that's disabled at the moment because fog was just looking very strange. And also for the light intensity, so we can actually ramp up the light in the dawn, then it's bright during the day, and then ramps down during the evening. And you get this kind of nice sunrise coming up there. Then we've got the daytime, and everything looks all bright and cheerful and lovely. And then as we get closer to the evening, it will go into this nice red color, crimson, and then we get like a blue. So my idea is that you can play it, you should be able to play at night. There won't be any it won't be too black to play. And I also plan on adding an option for streamers to change the light settings, because I know that if people are playing on YouTube, then or playing in general, sometimes they just don't want to deal with it being black half the time. So that's why I set the night duration to quite a small amount, but I also plan on having an option that makes the nighttime even brighter. So you can have it so that the nighttime is the same brightness as day, for example, just with slightly different colors, because I know that's a feature that people quite like. Yeah, and that's the last feature that I wanted to show off. This week I want to talk a little bit about the gameplay features that I'm planning based on my inspirations. So the main two are Satisfactory and Factorio, because I love the logistics system, I like all the automation and building huge sprawling factories. So that's the main gameplay feature that I want in the game. I also really like the tower defense aspect of Factorio. So I would like to go some of that route of having base defenses that you have to defend your factory from the local wildlife. But I also want to have a peaceful approach. So you can choose in your game whether you want to be hostile towards the creatures and have them attack you, or whether you want to be peaceful towards them. So to this end, I'm planning on having narrative events where how you deal with the flora and fauna of the world determines how they perceive you and how much they want to attack you. Basically, this will come down to there'll be a hostility scale, and the more hostile the planet is, the more you'll get attacked. The other gameplay inspiration that I have was Frostpunk. Now, in Frostpunk, you've got a big central project that you're working on, and from time to time, there'll be events that happen that require you to provide more resources to this central generator. And I really like that idea, that you're building this large central project that your entire base is based around, and that occasionally things will go wrong or break or require more resources or less resources, and you'll need to deal with that. So there'll be decisions that you can make such as one example that I had was that there'll be an event where you find out some of the materials that you're using aren't up to scratch, and so you can either choose to proceed with weaker materials and have things break occasionally, or whether you upgrade all your materials in the project. And I think this will provide a little bit more flavor and replayability as well, so you can choose different paths as you go along. And the wildlife hostility as well will react to that. So in Frostpunk you have two ways of dealing with your population. You can either go the religious route, or you can go for the authoritarian route, and each of those is mutually exclusive. And that's one of the things I would like, is the peaceful route and the hostility route are mutually exclusive. So you'll get bonuses if you're hostile, and you'll get bonuses if you're peaceful, but you can't get both sets of bonuses. Again, this is just ideas I have. Some of this might go in, none of this might go in, the project might not get made, but this is things that are floating around in my head that I wanted to share. And that's everything that I wanted to talk about and show this week. Thanks for watching. I will be trying to stream every Wednesday on Twitch. So I'm streaming game development. If you want to join in, that would be great, and it'd be really nice to see you. If not, then see you next time. Goodbye.